Hey everyone, me again. Latest video update. Today was day 6, Gargrave, which I can't remember what county it's in. But anyway, Gargrave to Penrith, which is in Cumbria. Started this morning, didn't have a fry up. I've had one 3 days in a row, and they were only doing continental breakfast anyway. So I'm talking a bit quiet, by the way, because it's fairly late at night and the walls are thin in this B&B, but I hope you can hear me alright. So yeah, no fry up this morning. I had a briefing. The guys told us it was going to be a tough day. Knew that anyway, but it helped mentally prepare me, because yesterday, if you've watched the blog, you'll know I struggled, to say the least. But at least knowing, because it just caught me out a bit yesterday. I didn't realise it was going to be as hard as it was. But at least knowing today was going to be really hard probably helped me, I think. Forewarned is forearmed and all that sort of nonsense. So yeah, we set out, headed into the Yorkshire Dales. Steep hills all morning. My legs were tired first thing. And I was a bit nervous given how yesterday went, but it was all okay. Kept plodding along. Yeah, steep hills and descents. By the time we got to lunch, we'd done only 36 miles, but 1,100 metres of climbing, which is a lot in that amount of distance. But it was worth it. Stunning scenery in the Yorkshire Dales. Went through some quiet gated roads over cattle grids. Steep hills going up, some crazy steep descents going down, really sort of hanging on to the brakes, and you're almost feeling like you're going to go over the handlebars. You're descending so steeply, but good nonetheless. One of the steepest descents actually was into Settle, which I passed through today. It's on the Way of the Roses route, which we followed for a little bit. Bought some new gloves in Settle with better padding on. Mine are sort of compacted down a bit and palms are starting to hurt, so I got a new pair there. They're blue, which isn't really my colour scheme. I tend to go black, red and white, or a combination thereof, but at this point I'm just after comfort really. It's function over form, so that's all they had, so that's what I got, but hopefully it'll make things a bit more comfy going forward on the hands. So yeah, hard morning. I was riding with Steve today. He started flagging a bit just before lunch actually, because he's not ridden these sort of parts before. I mean, I've been round here, I've done the Way of the Roses, I know how tough it is. This part of the country just always kicks your ass, does mine. But yeah, it's a bit of a shock to the system for some of the people, I think. But we had a nice lunch in Dent, served to us by a lovely barmaid. And then we headed out for more of the same in the afternoon. Steve sort of flagged again quite quickly and was going at a pretty slow pace, but I stuck with him. It's sort of he'd asked me this morning if I wanted to ride, and yesterday as I rode alone, I was like, yeah, I'm up for a bit of that. And they had said in the briefing, given that mobile signal is quite patchy and it's very remote, if people can ride in groups, that's better. And I know what it's like when you run out of energy. He obviously wanted a bit of company, so I was happy to stick around with him, although it meant going slower and getting in later than would have been the case. But not a problem. Hopefully he'd have done it for me. He's a nice guy, and the fact that he's a retired geography teacher he had some really interesting stuff to say as we went along, and he was loving the scenery despite his discomfort, and pointing out various things, talking about all the limestone formations and how there's caverns beneath us, and one of them you could fit some